and welcome to day 3 of the first ever HYTORC virtual trade show. I'm Tony Marino, along with HYTORC President Eric Junkers. We thank you so much for joining us. For those of you joining for the first time, we welcome you for the first time. And for those of you who've been here each and every day, thanks again for coming back. Let's jump into day 3 here. We'll get onto the agenda in a moment. But Eric, especially for those that are tuning in for the first time, let's talk about really the challenges that are out there that your customers are facing, and really what you guys are doing to help them out during these really unprecedented times.
Yeah, these really are unprecedented times, and something that really caught us off guard. And as we've mentioned over the past couple of days, we tried to make some moves in order to better support our customers. That really was something that was very important to us. It's really a hallmark of what we call the HYTORC standard. It's one of the big 3 of areas of importance to us: support, along with quality and technology. And so what we looked to do was to help out as best we can in our own little way. We recognize we're not everything to our customers. I mean, maybe we're a small piece of the operation, the maintenance, the production, but if we can help out, that would go a long way. And so, these are some of the challenges that were faced, that we recognized, that we understood our customers were facing. Feedback they were giving us, they were seeing staff shortages. They were having to operate with remote workers. There were financial challenges, no doubt, budgetary constraints that came up. And again, like everything else, out of nowhere, almost from one day to the next. Repair and maintenance needs, logistical challenges, social distancing, and that sort of thing. It's all been, there was a lot there. There were things that, again, nobody saw coming, but all of a sudden from one day to the next, almost, you had to operate in a different fashion. And so from the outset, we made some moves as an organization. And, first and foremost, we tried to highlight what our technology can do for our customers as far as helping out in these times. Our technology is really designed to enhance the job efficiency, the job safety. That's really what it all comes down to. And that is something that can really help out in all times, but certainly during a challenging circumstance like this. And so that's something we wanted to really highlight, how it is that our technology can enable our customers to work with less people, to work faster. That all can help out during times like this especially. But then beyond that, we recognize that there may be some logistical challenges, some shipping delays, things like that. We've all seen it on a personal level. Everything takes longer now. And so what we did is right from the outset, before things even really got locked down, we moved inventory all around the world, all to our facilities, to our distributors, our representatives, to make sure that we were positioned to get inventory, get equipment to our customers quickly, and get them what they need. We recognize that our equipment is needed in critical areas, and the work isn't stopping despite this global pandemic that we're all facing. And so that we move the inventory around, and I think it's really come in handy. Beyond that, with our rental program, we've really been highlighting what that can do for our customers, and we've put in some incentive programs, we've put in some promotional programs, I should say. Rent-to-own type of packages, custom rental kits. You have daily, weekly, monthly type of kitting, and many of our customers are taking advantage of this now, as a result of some perhaps budgetary constraints and some challenges that they face there. Also with regards to financing, leasing programs, long-term payment plans. This is all coming up now, and we wanted to make sure that we really had that down pat, and our entire team was ready and prepared to speak about it and go into greater detail and set up programs if and when our customers desired, to look into that further. And it is something many are taking advantage of. The repair services, we understood that we figured during this time that our customers may very well take advantage of the downtime or the more downtime than they have in the past, to get their equipment really in good working order, get it ready to go, so that when this all does settle down, and hopefully, as we all want sooner than later, that they are in a good position to operate in a safe and effective manner. So we've been very active on the repair side of things between both our mobile service, mobile vehicles, as well as our brick and mortar facilities. And we've been providing that with a contactless type of way of operating, and that's certainly important during this time. And so that's been very, very active, and it's available to everyone around the world. That's certainly that's a big part of who we are as an organization, worldwide coverage throughout. Really, there's no country that we do not cover in the world. And then some added, little services and support resources are with regards to the virtual capabilities. We recognize that it was going to be harder than ever to get on site, and that's understandable. That's a challenge we're all faced with. Working with less people and getting on site is not as easy as it used to be. And so as a result of that, we really put a lot of time and effort into looking at and fine-tuning our virtual offering. And as a result, now as we're in the second month of this, we have a full slate of virtual offerings between trainings and surveys and guidance and any just regular sort of support. And that's something that's really been very exciting for us. And I think our customers have really enjoyed that and appreciated what that can do for them. We've actually seen in some cases that, it's dawned on us and said, yeah, this is something really we should have had a broader offering in this area in the past, because it's actually in some ways more beneficial and it's easier than the old traditional face-to-face type of way of operating. Someone's on a remote location, think an offshore oil rig, and it's hard to get someone out there very quickly. So we can do it with the technology we have now in our pockets, where we can have a video conference, look at the equipment, provide you with a proposal, really give you some suggestions, and again, as said, train your craft, train your crew to just be able to work at this in a safer and more competent fashion. So that's now a big part of our offering, and we're doing them very frequently on a daily basis. Beyond that, just a 24/7 general support, that was something of major importance to us. As I said before, the offering a superior level support is that one of the big three for us in the HYTORC standard, and we felt we needed to ensure that was there at all times, just no matter what happens, even operate worst case scenario type of look. And we ensure that we did not miss a beat. We have our people in place. Our people have been responsive. They are available to you. They can come out to you if you would like that, or as mentioned, on a remote basis. But that to us these were all very important areas that we wanted to address, so that we can again help out in our own small way. And I feel like it's made a difference, and it's something that's going to continue, and we're going to continue to build on it, and hopefully that will allow for us to provide an even higher level of support than we ever did in the past.
Well, HYTORC is here. HYTORC is ready to help, and certainly we want to make you aware of that, and of course make you aware of the great products and services available. And that's what we've been doing here over the past 2 days, and now day 3 here of the first ever HYTORC virtual trade show. Well, normally this time of year, Eric, you guys would be wrapping up the Offshore Technology Conference, and that was the plan once again for this year. Of course, it didn't happen, and that helped spawn this idea of this virtual trade show. Why don't you take us back into that planning room and saying, the bottom line, we kind of miss our customers, and we want to have a chance to talk to them, our customers and potential clients as well.
We sure do. I mean, the OTC show, I said it the past couple of days, it's really one of the highlights of our year. It's a special show to us. We've been doing it since 1980, so this would have been our 40th year. It was something that John Yonkers, our founder, was always attending, always made a point, no matter where he was in the world, he was back for the OTC show, and I carried on that tradition. I've been there for probably 15 straight years, and it's just, it's a fun event, it's a lot of energy, it's something we truly enjoy, and we always make sure to coincide product releases, anything important that we're doing as a company with the OTC show. It makes a lot of sense for us. It obviously focuses on a key industry for us as an organization, the oil industry. And, we were disappointed, obviously, when it was canceled, but of course we understand. It makes perfect sense. So what we looked to do is we said, is there a way that we can bring a little bit of that experience to you in a virtual type of format? And that's kind of where this all started. And we said, maybe we can do that, whereby we share some of the latest information, provide you with some of the things that we're doing that can maybe help you out, maybe make a difference in your world, and have a little bit of a chat about things, have a conversation if you have any questions, So it was a fun idea, and I think these past 2 days have been really enjoyable, and we do look forward to getting back and seeing everybody face to face, and really getting back to the old format, and that's something we can't wait for in 2021. But I think that this has been a fun format here, and something that we hope that has been enjoyed and been found to be informative.
So let's set the agenda. Of course, on day one, we started with the electric torque tools, and the Lithium Series 2 tool, certainly the star of the show. We also talked about the Lion Gun there. Yesterday, an impressive lineup of wrenches that we went through yesterday. Pumps as well. We talked about the Vector Pump, the Vector Mini. Plenty to talk about yesterday. And then today, we're going to talk about fasteners. And the way this works is we'll tell you a little bit about the tools. We've got some videos for you, about the fasteners. We've got the videos for you. And there'll be a Q&A. For those of you watching on Zoom, enter into the portal, the Q&A part of your portal there on the platform. Enter some questions. What we're going to do is we'll try and get to as many of those as we can during, and then there's even a live Q&A here towards the end. So we'll try and get to as many of those as possible. If we're unable to get to those during, we've got about an hour or so that we'll be with you. If we're unable to get to those, there'll be some follow-up from the HYTORC team. They'll get out to you, and we always encourage you, go to the website. There's a live chat function on there. If for some reason you have questions at any time, 24/7, 365, go there. You can call as well. There's plenty of support out there for you. So that's how the format will work today, and we'll jump right in and talk fasteners. And I guess when you talk fasteners, you got to go to the HYTORC washer, and that's really, safety. When you talk about the HYTORC standard, safety starts right there. And with the HYTORC washer, that's what comes to mind is safety with this.
Yeah, that's right. It's right there in our mission statement as a priority of ours, a benefit that we're looking to bring to the equation. We're trying to really enhance the bolting work, and number one way we can enhance it is to make it safer. And really, that's what the HYTORC standard does come down to. It's providing superior quality technology and support in order to enhance the job safety, quality, and schedule. So that's really what we are as an organization. So safety is something that we have prioritized from the beginning. These are high-powered tools. This is high-powered equipment, and as a result of that, if used improperly, there's a chance of injury occurring. And one thing that we looked at over the years where we said, okay, we have to find a way to enhance this is really to remove the main hazard associated with industrial bolting, and that's the reaction member. The reaction member is a necessary aspect of bolting. You have to react, it's physics. But can we do something to ultimately move it and to ultimately eliminate that major pinch point, that significant hazard, because it is something that really is problematic at times. And so what we came up with is what we call our HYTORC washer system. And it's really, at the end of the day, the main benefit is that it's removing that reaction member from the equation and allowing you to react right on the washer itself. So it's something that we have been out offering for the past 7-10 years now, and it's something that is gaining a lot of traction with many of the companies that you may be familiar with. The largest companies in the world are using it, and I believe that a lot of it does have to do with safety, mainly hand safety. And that's something that we really prioritized here, and we're very excited about the big step forward that we're able to take for industrial bolting with this, because I think it was something that it was needed. It's something that really does take it forward in a significant manner, and that's why the enthusiasm is really, I would say, off the charts for this technology.
Let's take a look at this short video, because hand safety at HYTORC is priority number one.
Risks are very real for operators using conventional bolting methods with power torque tools, reaction arms, and backup wrenches. When a power tool is activated on the front side of the flange, a conventional reaction arm creates a pinch hazard. Accidents can occur, leading to major hand injury. The backup wrench can also move, creating a pinch point. An injury occurring on the back side of the flange can be just as devastating as one occurring on the front. The HYTORC washer system is the only solution that reduces the risk of hand injuries by eliminating pinch points. The washer system is comprised of a reaction washer and a backup washer, which perform all the functions of standard hardened washers and more. The reaction washer features a smooth side to reduce the friction of the turning nut. The opposite side is knurled to keep the reaction washer from rotating. The contoured outer surface braces reaction forces during tightening, eliminating the need for a reaction arm. The reaction washer is installed with the knurled side facing the flange to prevent rotation. The smooth side faces the nut. The outer reaction surface remains accessible for tool engagement. The backup washer has knurls on both sides and is installed between the back nut and the rear flange. The knurled surface prevents the back nut from turning, eliminating the need for a backup wrench. When bolting with the HYTORC washer system, the dual socket driver is positioned over the nut and the reaction washer. The outer driver engages the outer lobes of the reaction washer. The inner driver is a standard socket that engages the nut. The socket turns the nut within the stationary outer driver. The advantage is obvious. There are no exposed moving parts. All reaction pinch points are safely contained inside the outer driver. On the opposite side of the flange, the backup washer replaces the backup wrench, eliminating rear pinch points. The HYTORC washer is the only industrial bolting solution that can reduce the risk of hand injury by completely eliminating pinch points. Contact HYTORC today for a free demonstration.
So as mentioned, it's something we're really excited about as far as really the biggest step being with regards to safety and hand safety in particular, because obviously the hand is the most vulnerable part of the body when it comes to this industrial bolting equipment. And as you can see with the standard setup here, if you're not familiar with the way typical bolting works, is you have a reaction member which has to hit against the adjacent nut. And if you get your hand caught in there, it can be severely problematic, as most can appreciate. So with this washer system, it's quite simple. It was mentioned somewhat on there, and you see it really, if you're familiar with it, if you're aware of it, you know it. Basically, it's just got it's a hardened washer, kind of got a flower pattern on the side. It's got knurls on the bottom, which will sit on the flange face, and all that does is create a little bit of friction. The washer, the driver, engages with the flower pattern over a standard nut, and this becomes your reaction point. So there's no pinch points. There's there's really nothing no external forces there, and it's something that really just obviously enhances the safety because you're eliminating the main hazard. I mean, that's really how I would just simply put it. Beyond that, the advantages do go further. I mean, safety is our most exciting benefit. It's the one that I think really gets and deserves the most attention because it's obviously a priority. But you also have a number of other areas that this addresses, such as with regards to side loading and that end of things. You have bending when you have a reaction member because there's severe forces going into that member. That's why you do have the potential for injuries. And so if you get your finger caught in there, as mentioned, or anything caught in there, it can really be problematic. But also it creates a bending force in that stud, and that can lead to accuracy issues. It can lead to some challenges. It can lead to galling, perhaps. There's a number of things it can contribute towards. And so we move away from that by having a straight axial alignment and no bending forces at all. So that's really something that is exciting for many of our customers, that it gets the side load out of the equation. It also eliminates surface wear. The turning surface is a machined washer that we provide you, and you get away from any surface issues that many times are created when you're turning a nut on the flange face. So that's something, there's no need for any costly resurfacing. That's a big part of turnaround work at times, resurface work. So, that's really exciting. When it comes to safety, though, it's important that we don't just talk about the reaction member, we also talk about the other side of the equation. And that right here, you can see on our flange, is the backside. On the backside of the flange, you would have what's known as a backup wrench. And that's like if you're tightening something at home, you're going to have to hold on to that back nut. Well, obviously we're tightening to much higher values than you would be, a much higher foot-pound or output than you would be at home. And as a result of that, it's very hard to hold on to this back nut. You need to have a backup wrench. And that creates another pinch point because the forces in the backup wrench many times mirror the forces on the front side. So you get your finger caught in there, it's problematic. So that is another area that we are eliminating with our washer system, and that we have what we call our backup washer. And that's right here. You can see the variety of different sizes, but it's simply a round washer that goes on the back side, stops that back nut from turning. Very simple, very straightforward, and really beneficial. And again, another contributor towards safety. And what it all comes down to also is about efficiency and just enabling our customers, our workers, to operate more efficiently. As you see, you're taking it down from 2 people to 1 person. You're getting away from some coordination issues and things that occur when you're forced to use multiple people. So this just makes the job easier. It makes it simpler. It makes it more intuitive. And that is something that was huge for us. That is what we looked at. You know, I mentioned yesterday and the first day, where we're looking and we're always taking feedback from the field. We're always trying to get information, and we're trying to get an understanding of what it is that the market desires. And one of the big things had to do with, can you make this bolting equipment easier to operate, safer to operate, more efficient? And that's something that we've always looked to address. And I know we've taken several steps forward, but this is the biggest leap we've taken as an organization, this HYTORC washer. No question about it. It is a giant step for us as a company, and it's something that, you know, we're very proud of. And as mentioned before, our customers are excited about it. You may have seen it out there because there are millions in the marketplace now. Many of the companies that you very well know are using them, installing them, and are seeing the benefits of them. Again, mainly with safety, but also with the job quality, as well as with the job schedule, reducing the time, getting it with less manpower, really efficiency gains, productivity enhancements. So it's a game changer.
And that's one of the key benefits, and I don't want that, and I hope that, and I don't think we did gloss over it too much, is that when you talk about safety, you know, if there's an injury on the job, that's downtime that they're not going to be able to produce. And that's one of the biggest reasons that you want to address this for your customers is if you can limit downtime, obviously they're going to be more efficient overall.
Absolutely. That is really what it comes down to. And, you know, safety is of concern just because we care about our customers. We care about the people using this. We don't want to see anyone hurt using our tools. And it's so that's the first aspect of it. But yeah, when it comes down to it, it does create a lot of downtime. It does create some OSHA recordables and some challenges with that are costly to our customers. And we can really get away from that because at the end of the day, you can provide, there's a lot of things you can do with tooling to make them better, but the only way to really make this safe is to make it inherently safe, is to get rid of that hazard, get rid of the main thing causing the problems. And then when you couple it with a good maintenance schedule where you're looking after it in the proper fashion, maybe work with us with a system like HYCare, or many of our customers do it themselves, and that's great. We'll work with you on developing a proper schedule. You're going to have tools that are of the absolute safest they can possibly be, and that's a big deal for us. I mentioned it yesterday when it comes to, you know, the hands-free nature of it. The washer really contributes to that greatly, where you can take an individual out of harm's way, and that's a huge part of this. You know, just how do you stop somebody from getting hurt? Don't have them anywhere near where you can get hurt, and that really was key to this whole system, and something we can do far better than we've ever been able to do it in the past.
Well, as we take a look at our questions, I think this ties into, and it's a question that goes along with this. The question is, it comes from the Q&A section here on Zoom. What is HYTORC's approach with sampling the washers? Can I test them out somehow? And I think that ties into the tools that they can go with as well.
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's something that we wanted to provide our customers with the ability to really try this out. I mean, it was important to us that it's not just taking, you know, you read up what we say or check out their website or check out our videos. I mean, naturally we feel it's very good and it's a great product, and I think it does speak for itself, and there's a lot of examples, there's many examples that prove that. But really the proof is what it comes down to, is you seeing it for yourself, getting a chance to put it on your application and trying it out for yourself. And as a result of that, we offer that completely free of charge. We will do a complete install for it, not a complete facility, but we'll do an application for you so that you can see it for yourself. What difference did this make to my work? Does my craft team really see a benefit? Does this enhance the work? And you know, and we'll provide you with everything for that, both obviously the tooling, the pumps, the fasteners, and provide you with the procedures so that you can do it right. And then you know, we take it from there. So free trials are available on a worldwide basis, and hundreds upon hundreds of customers have taken advantage of this over the last several years that we've offered it. So it's a very important part of the process. We recognize that, you know, whenever you're taking a step forward and you're changing things up, you know, there's some trepidation. There's that you know, it's not something we're comfortable with. Change is not always easy. this is a way to get a sense of what it can actually do for you before you go and you invest, before you go and you make changes. And it's a very common approach to that first step with the HYTORC washer technology. It's to try it out first, and then we'll work with you on expanding upon that. And many of our customers have gone plant-wide with it after a short while because the benefits are significant.
And these fasteners are available. I mean, we've gone through, obviously, the electric torque tools, the hydraulic wrenches yesterday. These work with all of these.
Absolutely. That was an important part of it. All of our latest technology is designed to work with the HYTORC washer system. That's something that we absolutely, it was the only way to make it work. We had to have it work with our Avanti, our Ice, our Stealth, all of our battery guns, and our air tools. So that is the way it's been, with all of our latest tooling.
Well, among the challenges that the customers are facing, the HYTORC customers and really people around the world, especially when you talk about structural and just construction, the guidelines are being raised, right? There are standards in the industry that they need to meet. And that's where HYTORC said, let's take on this challenge. Let's go out and let's solve this. Let's help them solve this problem.
Yeah, that's right. And that, as you can see here, we have worked with ASTM to get recognized by them with a standard for hardened steel backup and reaction washers. So, that was a question that always came up in the structural world. What is ASTM's position on it? And we're happy to say, just within the past few months, that this is something that we have, after many years of working at this, we have that recognition. We've got all the documents, and it allows for us to really operate in this space perhaps easier than ever before. And so any sort of structural work, this was an important thing for us. And now it's really, it's opened up the door for many opportunities with our customers to work at a different level. And many are already taking advantage of it.
And now HYTORC can offer you an ASTM standard washer.
HYTORC washers have gained international acceptance through the ASTM standards process. ASTM F3394, standard for hardened backup and reaction washers, is now being specified for critical bolting projects. The HYTORC washer is manufactured in accordance with the requirements in the ASTM F3394 standard, specification for hardened backup and reaction washers. The standard covers material, mechanical, dimensional, and other properties for a range of washer sizes. The F3394 reaction washer is installed beneath the turning nut with knurls facing the flange to prevent washer movement. Once the nut is threaded onto the bolt, the washer outer surface remains accessible for constraining reaction forces. The F3394 backup washer is installed between the back nut and the rear flange to prevent the back nut from turning. When bolting with square drive tools, the dual socket driver is positioned over the nut and reaction washer. The edge of the driver engages the reaction washer to brace reaction forces. The inner driver is a standard socket that tightens the nut. As the nut turns within the outer driver, the advantage is obvious. There are no exposed moving parts. All forces are safely contained inside the driver, completely eliminating reaction arms and hazardous pinch points. On the opposite side, the backup washer keeps the back nut from turning, eliminating backup wrenches and rear pinch points. Fasteners using washers in tight spaces can be tightened with low clearance tools equipped with reaction plates. HYTORC ASTM F3394 washers are now making bolting safer, faster, and simpler. The F3394 standard can be downloaded at astm.org. Contact HYTORC for a free washer demonstration or trial. The HYTORC standard. Never settle for less.
And a reminder for those of you watching along on Zoom, if you have a question, go into the Q&A portion of the platform there, enter your question, and again, we're going to try and answer as many of those as we can here during the time, and then we do have a live Q&A to close out today's session and the 3-day virtual trade show as well. This is the first ever HYTORC virtual trade show. So as we talk about Q&A, let's head into this portal here, Eric, and pull out a question. We have one from John B. He said, when will we see this technology in valve manufacturing?
We are working very closely with many OEMs throughout the oil industry, throughout all industries, and it's something that is a very exciting part of it. And it's This system, we are having many of these conversations with these manufacturers with regards to what it can do for their work. How can it enhance it? How is it that it can make the maintenance of their equipment better and easier and so forth? With valves as an example, we showed yesterday with our on Tuesday with our LST tool, we actually have a function specifically for valves where you dial in the rotations rather than the torque that you require out of it. And so you couple that with, the washer system, and there's a lot you can do there. There's many things that are possible. And one of the big steps for us with regards to and it just happens to be this way. This was not a setup. We have our J washer on the screen right here, but that is a big step for us in working with a lot of these manufacturers, because what the J washer does, and I've got it right here, I'll just go and yank it out. The J washer is simply a variant of our HYTORC washer system. And what it does is it takes the benefits, all the benefits of the washer, and adds to them. So it has all of the safety enhancements, all of the job efficiency enhancements. Then beyond that, what it does is it provides a locking feature. And so that it just takes the benefits up another level, in that the benefits are built right into the washer now more so than ever before. In the past, the benefits were tied to the HYTORC tooling, the system as a whole, and that was great, and it was a big step, and our customers very much enjoyed them and appreciate what it does for the work. But now what we're doing is we're taking it further, whereby this washer on its own has some significant benefits as it pertains to locking that top nut on. It will not allow for that top nut to back off. And this is patented technology from us, brand new, just released. So it's something. It's a great it's a great segue into this offering here, this version of our HYTORC washer that we're calling our J washer.
And like the HYTORC washer, this is something that can be used on that Lithium Series 2 tool as well.
Absolutely, right? Can be used with any of our latest technology.
That's great. That's great. So let's learn more about the J washer.
In heavy industrial applications, increased vibration can loosen bolts over time. Loose bolts in structures, machines, and other systems can cause dangerous conditions. HYTORC now offers the J washer, providing a locking feature that keeps bolts tight. This unique design retains all benefits of the HYTORC washer system, including improved safety and speed during installation. The J washer is designed to stay tight under the industry standard Junkers test. This test simulates the vibration loosening that occurs in many applications. When tested without a washer, the nut comes loose. When tested with a flat washer, the nut still comes loose. However, when the HYTORC J washer is included in the fastener during the test, the nut does not come loose. This new washer design is installed with outward position knurls against the bearing surface and the inner knurl ridge facing the nut. The tool driver is positioned over the nut and engages the washer lobes. During tightening, the nut is locked in place by the knurled ridge. The J washer, combined with HYTORC tools, provides the most advanced bolting solution available, making your bolting safer, faster, and simpler. The HYTORC standard. Never settle for less.
One of the questions that I have here for you, Eric, is because the technology is always changing and you guys are introducing new technology to help your customers meet the challenges that are out there. We've heard trade-in talked about before. There are trade-in opportunities here.
There certainly are, and that's something that many of our customers take advantage of. We will trade in our older technology as well as even other manufacturers' technology in order to bring you to the latest equipment to enable you to work with some of these systems. We recognize and appreciate that you've made a significant investment in HYTORC equipment, and it's not something we expect for you to just part with and then move on from. We'll work with you on, and we'll provide you with a comprehensive proposal that really addresses that aspect of it and really makes the overall cost a little bit more palatable. So that's definitely an area that we work with our customers on and get in deep with, and I think it makes things, it work. It's a nice program that many take advantage of.
Keep those questions coming on the Q&A. Good job, everybody out there today on the Q&A. Just enter into the watching on the Zoom platform, the Q&A portal. Put your questions in there. Remember, don't put them in the chat. We're not going to see them. We're going to see them in the Q&A, and we'll be able to address as many of those as we can, at least during the webcast here, and then we'll get back to you afterwards as well. And a reminder, as always, go to HYTORC.com. There's a virtual chat there for you. You can ask your questions in there. And, of course, call 24/7, 365 days. Eric, as we continue on, the topic of the day is fasteners. And when you talk about really a shining star out there, that's got to be the HYTORC nut.
Yeah, the HYTORC nut is a product group that we've had out for over 20 years now. And it's something that it got us started in fasteners. And I've got one right here in my hands. And you can see a lot of the information right on this screen. It's a replacement nut, a 3-piece nut that enables you to get some significant benefits. The benefit number one that we've talked about with the HYTORC washer is very much present in this nut. It is the ability to eliminate that hazard, eliminate that reaction member, and we've accomplished that with this nut. So again, as I said before, our efforts to get rid of that hazard have been in place for many decades and is evident in this HYTORC nut system. And so this is something that we've been offering for a number of years. Many of our customers look to it in critical applications, things, the power industry uses it commonly. Reactors, as an example, are looking for it. It's something that gives you really just a lot of consistency, a lot of repeatability. One of the biggest things that I think it can contribute towards beyond safety is the fact that it eliminates galling entirely, galling being the fusing together of metals, and that's obviously problematic from when it happens on any bolting work. It requires you at times to cut the fasteners off, and that's time consuming. And so we've got a lot of different benefits that are built into this system, and it complements our HYTORC washer very well, where at this point in time it's kind of been balanced out, where this is used in the more perhaps critical applications areas, yes, where galling could be present, where maybe space is a challenge. As you can see, it's got a castle nut on the top that you engage with, so you really don't need any side clearance at all, as opposed to obviously with your standard nut you need to have a socket come over it and that end of things. So that's why I think in the power industry it's very exciting, very interesting, and it's a great product, one that we've been proud of for a long time. It's won many awards, and it's something that, again, you can see throughout industry at this point in time.
And there are some variations to it as well, depending on what the application is.
That's exactly right. And right here, I was holding, for instance, the TN style nut, but we've got a variety of them. I'll even stand up and grab them. We've got just different varieties based on what it is that you're looking for. You've got a low clearance nut right here, which enables you to come in overhead with our limited clearance tools. And that's something that, we wanted to make sure that we have something for everyone. You've got the CT series chemical style, where it allows you to come through with the stud. That was important to us. You don't have to, don't have challenges with your stud length and that end of things. So really something for everybody. And as you see, the kind of top two variations, the TN and as well the GT series, gas turbine series. So it's really something for everyone. That's the spirit behind it. We wanted to ensure that we could provide you with this nut no matter what your circumstance was, and that's exactly what we've done with these different varieties. And it's enabled us to work in many different places,
in many different industries. And that just leads us, Eric, to one of the questions here is, does HYTORC have any experience in the nuclear industry with either the HYTORC washer or the HYTORC nut?
A lot of experience in the nuclear industry. That's an area where this HYTORC nut is very popular. It's something that, that's obviously very critical work, as is everything we generally get involved in, but that's an area which has really gravitated towards the HYTORC nut technology. I think the galling prevention is significant. Again, also the time savings. I mean, everything that we look to do, again, it's all about safety. It's all about the job quality. It's about the job efficiency. And we hit that with the HYTORC nut in a tremendous fashion. So yeah, there's no question nuclear is a very popular industry, and if you go into a nuclear power plant in the United States or in the world for that matter, you may very well see these HYTORC nuts already installed.
And let's learn a little bit more about the HYTORC nut.
The The HYTORC nut improves safety, speed, and accuracy in critical bolting applications. By replacing standard hex nuts, the total job time can be significantly reduced. The nut assembly consists of an outer sleeve, an inner sleeve, and a washer. The outer sleeve is thread connected to the inner sleeve, and the inner sleeve is threaded onto the bolt. As torque is applied to the outer sleeve, it pulls on the inner sleeve, applying pure tension to the bolt. The integrated washer is spline coupled with the inner sleeve, providing a firm reaction point. During installation, reaction arms are completely eliminated, along with potential pinch points. HYTORC nuts are available in all sizes and in a wide variety of materials and styles. The TN style is designed to fit the tight spaces typically found in steam turbine applications. The CT style replaces hydraulic tension fasteners, allowing stud protrusion beyond the nut. The GT style handles high temperature and stress, often seen in gas turbine bolting. The SN style is used in tight spaces where other fasteners can't fit. Precision machined and lubricated surfaces allow tight control over the coefficient of friction. Calibrated torque applied to the nut results in highly repeatable and accurate bolt load. Tightening stops at the desired bolt load, and relaxation found in other tensioning systems is eliminated. This technology completely eliminates galling of bolt threads and flange surfaces. Nuts may be tightened with a variety of HYTORC electric, hydraulic, and pneumatic tools. Nuts are easily disassembled and completely reusable. HYTORC nuts make critical bolting applications faster, safer, and simpler. The HYTORC standard. Never settle for less.
And we continue with day 3 of HYTORC's first ever virtual trade show. Tony Marino and the president of HYTORC, Eric Junkers. And Eric, when you talk about significant challenges for your customers across a couple different industries, but certainly some high pressure, if you will, industries, it's the galling out there. And that's a significant challenge that you guys had to address.
Yeah, it was one that really, you see it in many different industries, high temperature applications, and again, it's spelled out here, but it's the fusing together of these metals, and it's highly problematic. You end up many times needing to cut the thread off, you know, the old blue torch tool, cut it right off, and that's time consuming and costly. And so, you know, we wanted to address that. We did address it with our HYTORC nut setup, as I had mentioned before. And a lot of the things that we learned with the HYTORC nut, we applied in a new product that we released within the last couple of years, and we call that our gall-free nut. And I'll go and grab it real quick. There's not much to it because it really does look just like a standard hex nut, as you can see on the screen and as you can see from the one that I'm holding in my hands. But there's a lot of there's a lot behind this. There's a lot of research and development that went into this, and you know, some clever folks on our team really made this come to fruition, and it's something we're very excited about because it allows for us to get one of the significant benefits that come with the HYTORC washer system in the galling prevention without going the route of going with the HYTORC nut. Now, that's something that it depends really on the situation, what it is you're looking for, what it is that makes sense for you. You know, the beauty of working with a regular hex nut is, yeah, you can work with your standard tooling. You don't need to change the fastener, you know, the stud length and that end of things. So what it comes down to is it just expands upon our offering, and what we would do and what we are doing is, when we work in close concert with our customers, is to identify what really is it that they're looking for, what is it that works for them, and that's true of the fasteners, of the tools, of the pumps, of the services, and really we try and lay it all out in a comprehensive proposal that goes from A to Z, and you know, gives you all the justifications as to why this is something that makes sense, and then most importantly, gives you the return on investment for that equipment. And so, you know, that's kind of how we approach it. And this really expanded upon our offering greatly because galling is a real headache. I mean, some would describe it as more than a headache, but it's a real issue in many industries, and, you know, the oil industry being one of them, but power, mining, so forth and so on. It's really everywhere. And so to be able to eliminate that entirely with just a fastener is a real exciting step and something no one's ever done before.
And there's certainly a theme here, folks, over these 3 days, is that HYTORC has listened to what customers, to what people in the field are saying, what are their challenges, and the HYTORC gall-free nut is just another example.
Industrial applications such as refineries operate for thousands of hours at high temperature. Heat exchangers and other equipment are subjected to continuous temperature and stress. A problem arises during maintenance, where nuts become difficult or impossible to remove. Often, there is no recourse other than to destroy or cut off the nut and repair damaged flanges. The core problem is usually due to galling, a process where metal surfaces are fused over time. HYTORC offers the gall-free nut as a solution to avoid these difficult maintenance issues. The gall-free nut is a two-part design. The outer part is a hex nut constructed of corrosion-resistant material. The inner section is coated, so the thread surface will not degrade with temperature and stress. The gall-free nut is installed as any other nut. The nut is tightened using bolting tools, just as with any other nut. Alternatively, the nut and fastener may include a HYTORC washer for the most efficient assembly. The gall-free nut can serve for thousands of hours on the application without galling. At the next maintenance activity, the nut is easily removed without damage to the fastener or flange. The gall-free nut provides an innovative solution to make your bolting safer, faster, and simpler. The HYTORC standard. Never settle for less.
Day 3 of HYTORC's first ever virtual trade show. Our chance to bring a trade show right to you wherever you are right now, really around the world. And we've got, we really appreciate everybody tuning in for this the past 3 days, and hundreds of you, almost thousands of you around the world have been tuning in. And we're certainly happy to see you at least virtually. Well, Eric, when we talk about standards and the HYTORC standard, one of the key components is support. And 24/7, 365, there's support out there for your customers.
There is, and it's something that really we made a priority from day one. You know, we were founded in 1968, and even before we had a product, John Yonkers, he prioritized support, providing a high level of support wherever you may be at any time. And you know, that's something that has held true throughout these years, and something that is in our very mission statement. It's a significant part of that HYTORC standard, and it's something that our representatives and distributors and team members exemplify on a daily basis in just a fantastic fashion. And they've really shown it more so than ever during these challenging times, because it has created a few hurdles, but you know, everyone has gotten pretty creative and come up with different ways to still engage with our customers and be there for them and take care of them wherever they may reside. And you know, we've been very active on that front throughout these last 8 weeks, and working with our customers again, just in creative ways. And it's really been something that is, at first it was a challenge, but we've found ourselves and figured out a certain groove to it. And I'm really proud of the service that we've been able to provide and are going to continue to provide for our customers in order to help them out in any way we can. Again, we understood, we started with the challenges that they're facing, and they were steep and significant. And if we can do our own small part in helping and contributing towards that's an ultimate solution, you know, I think that we'll have done pretty well. And so the support end of things is a big part of that.
And something tells me that way back when, there were probably those times mid-morning, middle of the morning, early in the morning, that John Yonkers was picking up a phone call to start that support. That's really where it started, no doubt.
That's for sure.
Let's go to Q&A now, our live Q&A, and this has really been, this is you. You guys are leading this. You've had some questions along the way. We want to answer as many of them as we can here. We're coming up on a short period of time left in the short window here, but let's start with some questions here from Q&A. How many times can the washers be used, and how much time saving in comparison to standard work methods?
The time savings are pretty significant. I mean, they're you know, at the end of the day, what we're doing with our system, and you know, we have actually an example of it over here. I'll quickly walk over if you join me. We have our 4-tool system right here that really shows you exactly, you know, where time savings can be seen in a significant fashion. And the washer is a component of that. It's not the entirety of it, but it's a big component of it. And what it allows for you to do is just work in a much simpler manner, a much more intuitive manner. There's no fumbling about with reaction members trying to find a quality reaction point. You put the tool on the job, you can step away from it, operate with multiple tools. A big contributor towards it is also the pumping unit, which allows for parallel joint closure. So really, it's a system. It comes down to the system. But what we've seen is over 50% time savings in many cases. In most cases, it's over 50%. And that's really, it's a combination of factors that lead into it, the washer being a very big one. And it's a big contributor towards that.
So that was a great question out there. Thank you again. You've got a few seconds there to get or I should say a few minutes to get your questions into the Q&A. We're going to try and hit as many of them as we can before we wrap here on day 3. But again, we'll get in touch with you after the show. We'll make sure that a HYTORC representative reaches out and addresses that. We've got another one here. How does the J-washer compare with chemical thread locks?
Well, we have put this, really what it came down to when we developed this idea, when we had this idea for the J-washer. Obviously, we needed to have it validated. We needed to have it tested. And as seen in the video, there's what's known as the Junker test, which is not has nothing to do with me, but it happens to share my last name. But it's a test that really it's a vibration test and sees how it holds up, and a lot of it was explained in that video. But what it comes down to is we can talk about a variety of different other solutions that are out there, and we can talk about how they work as far as how they perform in that situation, as far as keeping that nut locked on and not backing off. But at the end of the day, we do adhere to the standards that are necessary. This product holds up, and I think what makes us different than any of those is the fact that it works with our HYTORC system to be reaction arm free. So you can eliminate the reaction arm. None of these other products can you eliminate a reaction arm. It has nothing to do with the reaction arm. It's simply a washer that goes underneath it. So that's a big step. And B, also in some cases, again, I can't speak specifically to this one, but cost. These are priced very aggressively. I think you'll find that the cost of these is really where it should be. And that's a lot. We've been able to do that as a result of the success that we've seen. The volume sort of dictates what we can do on that front. So I think that's really what it comes down to. I mean, there's a number of different products out there that have to do with locking systems, but there is no product that can work with the HYTORC system to enable you to operate reaction arm free, hands free, and also B is really priced at the appropriate level. So I think it's that combo that makes this very, very unique, very interesting, and why we were able to get a patent on it.
Well, I think this next question is something that really speaks to HYTORC. Again, it's something that's in the pedigree, and that question is: we know about the training and the great training that's available for the equipment. How do you incorporate training along with these fasteners?
Yeah, it's similar. I mean, there's the fasteners are an aspect of our training courses. I mean, we always touch on them as they're becoming more and more popular in industry. We're making sure that our customers are being trained on them and are aware of them and understand how they work. I mean, the beauty of this system, and I don't say that they don't require training. Of course not. But they're very intuitive. They're designed to be intuitive, where there's not much guesswork. It's very well spelled out, and you don't need that much training to understand how it is to work these tools in the right fashion, in the appropriate fashion. And we're there for you every step of the way, and even beyond that. I mean, giving a training, today, and then, in a year from now, a lot can be forgotten. So we're there for you. We're able to support, and beyond just the actual interaction with our team, we have a litany of videos on YouTube and on other social media channels which outline all the specifics you could possibly ask. And again, it's not that complex. It really isn't. I mean, when it comes to the HYTORC nut and that end of things, there's a little bit more to it than the HYTORC washer. But again, it's pretty straightforward, and we're there to help you out throughout the way and make sure that that the work is done properly. And many times on the first install, our customers will take us up on a supervision. So we'll be on site. We're not doing the bolting work. We're there to supervise and work with the team to make sure the procedures are adhered to make sure that everything really goes as it should. And it's really, that works quite well.
One final one we have before we wrap up the Q&A here is when do you use the HYTORC nut versus the Gulf-free nut?
Yeah, it's a great question, and that really comes down to the situation that you're facing, what it is that you're looking at. I mean, as I mentioned, the HYTORC nut has some unique benefits to it as far as clearance and that end of things, where you can work at it from the top going in. Also, the entire package, it's all built in. You have the washer system, so it's reaction arm free right out of the gates, whereas with the Gulf-free nut, you would need to include the HYTORC washer, which isn't a problem. It's honestly, it's hard to answer that exactly because I'm unfamiliar with the exact application and situation that they're facing. Site surveys, it's what it comes down to. It's a major part of the process where we come in and we analyze it from top to bottom, and it's a completely free part of the process. So I think that is that great first step for one to take is, invite us in, we'll come in, and there's no obligation. We will provide you with a comprehensive site survey with a proposal that says, this is the way we would suggest that you go about it. And as sort of mentioned yesterday, we've seen it in all different angles where we've come in and, customers have it totally down pat and we just need to make some tweaks, or otherwise we need to maybe build it up a little bit from scratch, and that's okay too. And we work with you on that from yes, the technology on the fasteners, the tools, the pumps, but it's with regards to the training, it's with regards to the procedures and that side of things. So it becomes a very comprehensive approach and turnkey in a way to really ensure that the benefits that we're talking about and advertising are actually met as far as job safety, job quality, and job time reduction.
So as we come to a close here on day 3 of the first ever HYTORC virtual trade show, Eric, I think it's important that we remind and you remind the customers, and it's really where this spawned from as well, that HYTORC's here and you guys are ready to help right now.
We sure are, and that's something that we've looked to get out there through social media and various channels, and it's an appropriate sort of end to this 3-day virtual trade show is that reminder, because there's many ways that we can support your efforts. And again, we're not under any false pretenses that we're something bigger than we are, but we can contribute towards the cause of you having a more efficient and a better workplace, safer workplace. And that's what a lot of these things do for you, whether it's the technology or the inventory or the personnel, the remote virtual guidance and support and trainings. These are all areas that can really contribute towards your current efforts to operate more efficiently, to gain productivity and that end of things. So we hope you take us up on it. We're available to you. The first step could be just simply a discussion, a phone call, or we can take it to a video conference and that end of things. And we have plenty of case studies, plenty of examples. As I mentioned before, I mean, the amount of washers and fasteners overall that are installed throughout industry, let's talk the oil industry specifically, as that's OTC, are by the hundreds of thousands, millions throughout the world. So we're not new at this. We've been at this for a long time, and it will operate as advertised. It will make that impact, and that's something that we're happy to prove to you. And as mentioned earlier, when it comes down to any consideration, there are trials. We are there the whole way. We're going to prove it, and it's going to operate and produce as it should, as we advertise that it will. That's a big part of this. That's what we're known for. That's really, I think, a hallmark of who HYTORC is for the last 52 years of our existence, that we are a company that stands behind our products, stands behind our customers, and these type of points that are on this slide here are some moves that we've made to enable us to better support our customers despite these trying times. And it's something that we're happy to discuss in greater detail and even go beyond it. If you've got something that you need, that you require, where you say, let's work at it. Let's look at it together, because we understand your work doesn't miss a beat. Your work is not taking a break. It's and neither does HYTORC. So we can work with you in whatever fashion we need to in order to continue to provide you with the same level of support and solutions that we always have, and to enhance your work as best as we can.
And before we go, and we would not only are we thankful for you guys tuning in, but we'd be remiss to say how thankful we are, for the HYTORC employees and really all the essential workers. You talk about the frontline workers out there that have really been fighting through this since day one.
Incredible, and it's really something that is remarkable, and we are so very appreciative of everyone who has who has really mentioned the frontline workers and all of them. I mean, incredible people and something that's really inspiring. And I think that that's in the end what I look to in all of this. And I think it gives a lot of people hope when you see, you know, people coming together and people stepping up and doing their part to help us through this time. And you know, that's really been something special, and we do thank everyone who has been there since the beginning of this and are seeing this through. And we do hope that everyone is healthy and safe and well. And we look forward to helping you meet and exceed any bolting challenges that you may see. We're here for you, and we will remain here for you.
And plenty of ways to keep the conversation going. Like we said, visit the website. There's a live chat function there at HYTORC.com. 24/7, 365 support. Pick up the phone at any time. Follow us along all our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We'll see you out there on those. Keep the conversation going. Be safe, stay healthy, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.